is there enough in this market that really makes sense to justify continuing doing this at,
Yeah, that's it. I think when you and I talked after that show that we did in some water, that's where my head is now. I'm like, it's taking up so much of my personal time. I'm at a point where I'm like, what is this? What does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
Am I trying to, you know what I mean? I'm like, am I trying to be big time? Or is this still just something I'm doing for fun that I'm good at?
Right now, what's the name of your first special if you get one?
If I get
Gun
a special,
to your head right now, yeah.
Oh, I've been on a high since last night over that show, and I just keep saying, "What the fuck is this?" And I think that I literally texted that to someone this morning. I'm like, I think my album's gonna be called "What the fuck is this?" Because I'm in awe, man.
What was the show?
I was at the historic Everett Theater last night, and it was Brett Ernst that was the headliner.
Yeah.
And then Josh Firestein was there, and then myself, and I was the guest spot. And do you know Brett Ernst?
I have seen Brett, and then obviously I know Josh. He's coming on in a few weeks. But
okay, yeah. So like, to be completely honest with you, I didn't know about Brett's stand-up. I knew him from Cobra Kai, like the TV show.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And I love Cobra Kai because I'm a huge Karate Kid fan, right?
Really?
So yeah, I fucking love it.
So you're just jacked up about working with this guy?
Yeah, I was like, I'm just excited. And like, I was in the green room. I was the first one to show up. And then he walked down the stairs.
So fucking cold in that green room.
It's so cold.
I hate how cold it is.
Yeah, I was like, it's pretty brisk down here.
Yeah.
But then he just walks down and he's just like the coolest dude.
Yeah.
He comes up, gives me a hug, and he just starts talking like we've known each other for years. Super nice.
Yeah.
And he did great. He was really nice to talk with and stuff. And then after the show, I think it's Yuji, the guy that played Shozen in Karate Kid 2. Don't fuck with me right now. Don't make fun of me.
No, you're
right
good.
now. But he came down the stairs. I freaked out.
Yeah.
I was like, and like everybody already knew that I was like a fan of the show. So like they were all cracking up at me. Him and Brett are talking, and I'm just like, I'm fucking freaking out right now. Oh my God. And so, I mean, I've done shows with like great comedians, but like for me, like this was such like a big fucking, like, these are celebrities that I just see on TV and I've known since I was a child.
So weird.
And it freaked me out. And then I just had this feeling of like, I don't know, man. I just have this like grateful feeling. It's all kind of happened to me very fast. And, I think you get that weird imposter syndrome, just like the Washington Center for Performing Arts.
Yeah.
I can't say the whole thing either. I felt like I wasn't supposed to be there. It was me and it was like 4 other national headliners. I was like, why am I here?
Because the work's there. Like it feels really weird. That imposter syndrome thing is tough, but like you got to take the opportunities when they come and like do it in stride. That place, for anyone who hasn't been, I'm not saying the name. I'm done fucking trying to say that name, but it's so vertical. Like it's
very vertical.
It's like fucking straight up, and there's it seats like 1,000, and it was such a strange. I don't necessarily think it's the best for stand up, just like how you perform it. But I did the more on Thursday.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it was 1,800 seats, and that was insane. Like I just never, like you were talking about Brett. Like I worked with Ari and Soder, and it came together like the day of. I got the text, and I'm at the more. I'm like, Nirvana recorded an album here. Yeah. Like, this is insane.
Right? Yeah.
And then like Eddie Vedder in the Even Flow video, like he climbed up and like jumped off in that, like that was at the Moore. And I saw Norm Macdonald there and shit like that. It was just talking about like big moments. Like personally, I've been going through some shit right now, but that moment, like what Ari meant to me comedically, like he influenced me a lot. I think I've talked about it on here quite a bit, but it just, dude, like it's so cool to work with people in comedy that get it. Like that they were in the spot that you're in right now and they treat you as a comic, and there's so much like negativity and shit around. Oh God, it ruined this passionate moment for me.
Wow.
It's fine. Yeah. So it was just, I mean, like watching somebody on stage that I was listening to that fucking podcast of his before I got into stand up. And then I saw him at the Neptune, and a week later I started doing stand up, and that was fucking 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I went on stage, I opened, and I came off stage, and I felt so douchey saying this, but I went up to him, I was like, hey man, I know this is weird. And I'm like, I saw you 4 years ago at the Neptune as a audience member, and like it got me into stand up, and it was so important to me, and like you have no idea how big how much this means to me. Yeah. And he was so cool about it, and afterwards like we got dinner and stuff, and we hung out, and it was just like I got to hang out with two people that like they're very important people in the history of American comedy. Yeah. Like they're, for good and bad reasons, each one. Right. But it's just like they treated me with so much kindness, and I'm like, that's fucking huge. There's other people in the industry that don't behave that, even like at the lowest levels. Yeah. You know, you're like, I just don't know why there is so much like negativity and anger and shit like that. And like, I'm sure people watching or listening to this are like, oh, he got that and I didn't get that, or why did he, like, it was, I took a gig that led to me becoming cool with somebody that, you know, I got an opportunity out of, and like, whether or not I'm the right person for that opportunity, they felt that was okay. And I'm very lucky. Like there's I think Gabe Rutledge talked about it, where he's like, you try to understand this industry, and like there's skill and then there's luck, and it's important in like it's you're playing poker in this space, so like you need to be prepared when that comes, but you still need to get the opportunity, you know. So it's, I mean, you've gotten opportunities early, but you've also capitalized on them. So fuck, like there's no shame in that. Hey, if you like that video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and follow our page for new weekly content.